and he asked her to step out of the car. And the boyfriend makes his move. He pulls a gun, shoots her right here. It goes.
Hello, I'm Ben Steele, and today I had the opportunity and the privilege to speak to some police officers and their family members, and just try to get the insight of what it's like to be a police officer and how it feels to have their family member working in that profession and what makes them worry and all that stuff. But the clip at the beginning was a very good story. I think you'll really enjoy it, and yeah, stay tuned. My first question is, when you get ready for work each day, what thoughts are going through your head?
Make sure I'm coming home tonight. Get my mind mentally prepared for anything that could happen to me. If I have to. If I'm gonna have to take somebody's life, I got to be mentally prepared that that could happen.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Okay. Thank you. And my second question is, when you hear Blue Lives Matter, what does that mean to you?
Well, it means that police officer lives matter too. The way the media has portrayed police officers nowadays, it's like the bad guys have more rights than the good guys, and it's just not a fair world anymore for police officers.
Third question, when you are off duty and not wearing a uniform, do you feel safe?
Yes.
Alright, while on duty, are you paranoid that people may think you are profiling somebody?
No, I really don't think about it. Because I don't really see color when I'm, doing my job. Everybody's all the same to me.
What makes you nervous while working?
I guess just not knowing, what's around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You try not to think about things like that, but it's always in the back of your mind.
Yeah. And last question is, what's your favorite part of your job?
Being able to help people.
Yes, sir.
Because she's fearful that her boyfriend's going to come in and kill her and the clerk. So she goes back to her car. Officer May pulls up, gets out, speaks to the female who's looking straight ahead. Won't really give him any won't look at him or anything. And he asks her to step out of the car. And the boyfriend makes his move. He pulls a gun, shoots her right here. It goes through the door and hits the Officer May in the hand. So it wasn't intentional to hit the police officer, but the bullet still came in his direction and struck him.
Oh my God.
So our code is Signal 25. So 3 months into law enforcement, I get to hear my training officer yell Signal 25. It's like, I need help, So it just came out, Signal 25, shots fired, I've been shot, And it's an all call. I think there's probably, I'd say 75 law enforcement officers that came. They come from all over. Henderson, they were coming from everywhere. So it's an all call at that point. She died instantly. So he carried out what he intended to do. He just got the officer got caught up in the crossfire. But so that it's not always the immediate dangers that will get us. Sometimes it's those things as well. But all right.
When you get ready for work each day, what thoughts are going through your head?
First thought is my daughter. I don't know if you've ever been in my changing room, but that's the first thing I have is a picture of my daughter. It's called a reminding photo. It reminds you every day what you want to come home to. My wife, just the things that matter in life. When you put on the uniform, people have told me this before, and I don't see it, but people have told me that I'm a different person in uniform than I am in person, and you know me enough, you may have seen it as well. But they say you're totally different in uniform. So your mindset immediately goes to that, okay, I've got a job to do, I've got to go carry it out, I got to do it safely, got to make sure that I come home to my daughter and my wife. So that's what gets my mind about every time I get ready.
When you hear Blue Lives Matter, what does that mean to you?
Well, I think it's sad that we've gotten to that point that we're having to decide what. I think all lives matter. I don't understand blue, black, green, purple. I don't get that. Like, to me, all lives matter. But I just think it's people who are coming to front for us, saying that all this other hype about all these other lives matter and that they include us. So I think that, I thank them for that, but I just think it's a moot point. I think all lives matter.
When you are off duty and not wearing a uniform, do you feel safe?
Never feel safe. I'll tell you one incident. I was at the mall one time. Hope was she's probably about 4 or 5, and she was by my side, totally off duty. I usually carry a firearm with me at all times, but when she was so small, I was always worried that she would get hold of it by accident. So I kept it in my vehicle. Standing in line, I hear a subject behind me suck his teeth, and I hear him say, "I know who you are." So I turn around, and it's a subject we've arrested several times. I just kind of turned around and ignored him at first. He sucked his teeth again. Said, "I know who you are. I can take you out right here." So my only reaction was to pretend to reach for a gun that wasn't there, turn around and tell him if he doesn't leave, I'm gonna blow his effing head off right here in front of everybody. And it worked, thank God. But Hope had no idea that was going on. But so there's always that chance. So yeah. So people say, "Oh, you work in a small town like Wake Forest." Well, things happen in small towns. So, and we're right next to Durham, Henderson, Raleigh, so Franklin County. I mean, there's bad in Wake Forest. So.
While on duty, are you paranoid that people may think you're profiling?
So here's the thing about the profiling. My job is to profile, okay? But it's not to profile for skin color. My job is to profile for body language, for how, even as much as the time of night or day. If you got somebody walking through the neighborhood at 3 o'clock in the morning, what's the purpose? So you're going, that's profiling. You're wondering why they're out there. I don't worry so much about them worrying about me profiling for their skin color, because every traffic stop we do or everything that we do, we fill out a form that discloses that. So the state has all that information. So if they think law enforcement profiling, they can pull that up at any time and determine whether we are or not. But it's not the case. What I'm really shocked at a lot of times is, especially traffic stops, the accusations where we are accused of stopping people because of their skin color, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning at night. I mean, y'all look in vehicles at 2 o'clock in the morning and see if you can tell what color people are. You just can't do it. So it's just I'm not going to say it doesn't happen at some agencies or some places. I like to think it doesn't, but it's not as evident as everybody wants it to be. But yes, our job is to profile. You see a car with a hazard, that's profiling. You're looking for cars that have, slick tires, no lights. It's all profiling. That's what my job involves. But the racially profiling is where I think people are kind of overdoing it a little bit. So.
What makes you nervous while working?
Everything. Nervous is a good thing. Nervous keeps you alive. So, everything makes me nervous, because you can stop that. And I tell people all the time, for every video you see of the law enforcement officer using force, I can show you hundreds of videos where we've had force used against us, and you'd be surprised. We've had some of our training videos of, we have one that's like an 80-some-year-old man gets out of his truck and pulls his rifle and starts shooting and killing an officer. You never know who your threat is, or what their intentions are. And when we stop a car, we have no idea who's driving that car, or what they may have just robbed a bank. We don't know that. We are just stopping them for a tag light out, or for a brake light out, or for speeding. And so we're walking over that car and they're thinking, I'm going to go to jail. We're not thinking that. They are. So they react to that. So we're having to react to them, threatening us. So yeah, everything makes me nervous. Our motto is, be respectful, be kind, but be prepared to kill somebody if you have to. And that, I know that sounds kind of harsh, but that is, you have to have that mindset of, you may have to kill this person. School shooters are a perfect example. The last thing anybody wants to do is kill a child. But if that child walks to a school and starts shooting other people, I mean, I'm gonna do my job. I gotta do what I gotta do. So,
What's your favorite part of your job?
getting off work. Yeah, I don't know. Things have changed through the years. I was young and foolish when I first started, and everything was cool. And now that's kind of outdated, and I'm just looking forward to retirement. But I don't know. There's still some cool aspects. I like being thanked for my service. That's always kind of neat. I like when I stopped the car the other day and wrote the guy a ticket, and he actually got out of the car and shook my hand and said thank you. And that's true support when you're out there enforcing and doing stuff, and they actually appreciate that you're out there doing it, even though they're part of it. But yeah, I mean, it's changed over the years. I think my biggest thing is just looking forward to retirement. I'm just, putting this uniform on for 20 years. I think it's enough. So a little bit more, 5.5 years left. I'll never have to put it on again. It's not very comfortable, if you're wondering. It's not very cool either. Like, there's nothing cool about polyester. The kids don't go, oh man, that's a cool outfit. There's nothing cool about that.
If you weren't a police officer, what would you want to be and why? Or do?
I don't know. This is my second career, so I did manufacturing for 10 years. And I absolutely hated that. Hours were long. Stress is way more harsh than this. Law enforcement, your stress goes up and down. Manufacturing, your stress never goes away. I don't know. I could be a fireman. I don't like fire. I'm claustrophobic, so I couldn't do that. So I don't know. I guess if I could pick any profession, I would have probably been like a professional snowboarder or something. But that didn't happen. I became a police officer.
When your dad gets ready for work each day, what thoughts are going through your head?
Sometimes I get nervous, but most of the time, since he's been in the game for so long, it kind of feeling goes away. But sometimes when he goes in for his night shift, I get very nervous just because I know more crime happens at night.
What makes you nervous while your dad is working?
Just when he gets called in for drug bust, he does a lot of drug busts, and that makes me nervous just because obviously the people that he's trying to arrest are people who are addicted to a substance, and they're willing to do anything for that, and you don't know if they have weapons on them. So it does make me nervous, just if my dad is stuck in a situation where he can't get to his gun as fast, or he's put in a situation where he can't fight back.
With your dad being a police officer, do you feel like you are targeted by other kids?
Well, in today's media, when it comes to racism and stuff like that, how cops are put in the media, sometimes I do get kind of nervous saying my dad's a cop around certain people, just because people might automatically assume that I'm racist, or I'm this, or I'm that, when most of them are just stereotypes.
So with your dad being a police officer, do you feel like you get out of trouble a lot easier than other people who does not have a family member working for the police department?
I think it depends on the trouble that I'm in, because my dad can only do so much. When it comes to speeding or something like that, one of my dad's friends would pull me over, but when it comes to serious matters, I know my dad doesn't have any pull in it. But when it comes to small little things like speeding, I kind of know that my dad can help me out a little bit with it, or not get the ticket at all, just because he knows so many of the cops. But I don't think that, I guess not getting a speeding ticket is a pretty good advantage. So yeah, I guess in some situations, but nothing big or major.
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
You are so welcome.
In the end, we need to remember that those in blue are not the bad guys. They are risking their lives to protect our communities. Please remember to thank them every chance you get. Thank you.